I'll never forget the first time I checked my investment account and realized something weird. It was a Tuesday morning. I was at my desk at the architecture firm working on building renders. During a coffee break, I pulled up my brokerage app. My portfolio had gone up $287 that day. After taxes, my take-home pay for that same day was about $240. My money made more than I did while I was working. It wasn't life-changing money. But something clicked. For the first time, I could see the finish line. Not theoretically, mathematically. There was going to be a point where my investments would consistently generate more income than my actual job. And once you see that possibility, you can't unsee it. Today, I'm showing you exactly when your investment income will beat your day job income. Real numbers, actual math, no vague motivation. Because here's what nobody tells you. This moment is calculable. It's not luck. It's not reserved for tech millionaires. It's pure math. And once you understand it, everything changes. The number you're chasing. Most financial advice focuses on how much you're saving and what your retirement balance is. But there's a third number that matters more. Your annual investment income. The money your portfolio generates whether you work or not, whether you're awake or asleep, whether you're on vacation or in a meeting. In architecture, we learn that systems functioning independently are more valuable than systems requiring constant input. Your finances work the same way. Right now, you have an active income system. You show up, money comes in. You stop, money stops. Investment income is passive. It works whether you're there or not. And there's a specific moment when that passive system finally generates more than your active one. The math they don't show you. Here's what most people don't realize. The moment your investment income beats your job, income happens way earlier than you think. Let's start with some real numbers. The median full-time worker makes about $52,000 per year. After taxes, that's roughly $40,000 in actual take-home pay. We'll use this as our baseline, but you can adjust for your own income. Now, here's the formula for when your investments will generate that same $40,000 annually. You need about $571,000 invested at 7% returns. That's it. $571,000 times 7% equals $40,000 per year. Wait, I've heard stocks return 10%? They do. Before inflation. After inflation eats about 3%, you're left with 7% real returns. And since we're replacing a salary you spend in today's dollars, real returns are what matter. $571,000 to beat a $52,000 salary. That's your number. But here's what nobody talks about. You don't need to wait until you have the full amount for this to change your life. Now, I know what you're thinking. Cool, so I just need to save $571,000. See you in 30 years. But here's where it gets interesting. You don't need to wait until you have the full amount. The journey to this point creates something way more valuable than a single milestone. The timeline nobody shows you. Most people think this takes forever. It doesn't. Let me walk you through what actually happens year by year. Let's say you're 25 years old, making that $52,000 salary, and you start investing $500 per month. That's about 12% of your gross income. More than the average person saves, but totally achievable. Here's what happens year by year. Year 5, age 30. Portfolio value, approximately $36,000. Annual investment income, approximately $2,500. That's roughly 6% of your salary replaced. Year 10, age 35. Portfolio value, approximately $87,000. Annual investment income, approximately $6,100. About 15% of your salary replaced. Year 15, age 40. Portfolio value, approximately $158,000. Annual investment income, approximately $11,000. You're at 28% of your salary replaced. Year 20, age 45. Portfolio value, approximately $262,000. Annual investment income, approximately $18,400. Almost half your salary is now passive, 46%. Year 25, age 50. Portfolio value, approximately $410,000. Annual investment income, approximately $28,700. You've hit 72% of your salary passively. Year 30, age 55. Portfolio value, approximately $623,000. Annual investment income, approximately $43,600. Your investment income officially beats your day job. Think about what that actually means. At 55 years old, you could theoretically stop working, and your investments would generate more than your job did, and they'd keep growing. But here's the thing most people miss. You don't have to wait until year 30 to feel the impact. When your investments generate $500 per month, that's your car payment covered forever. At $1,000 per month, that's your car payment and groceries. At $2,000 per month, most of your non-housing expenses are covered. Each milestone gives you more options, more leverage, more ability to say no to things you don't want to do. You don't have to wait for the lines to fully cross to start feeling free. The two mistakes that kill your timeline. The average American retires with $88,000 saved. At 7% returns, that generates about $6,200 per year, roughly a part-time minimum wage job. They worked 40 years for that. Here's what destroys most people's progress. Mistake number 1, starting too late. Start at 25, hit crossover at 55. Wait until 35, you won't get there until 65. Wait until 45, you'll be 75. Every year you delay pushes the finish line a decade further away. I know people who kept saying, I'll start investing next year for 5 straight years. Now they're in their 40s, panicking about retirement, realizing they can't get those years back. Mistake number 2, lifestyle inflation. You get a raise. Instead of investing the extra $300 per month, you upgrade your apartment, your car, your wardrobe, your income doubled, your investment rate stayed flat. Your crossover point didn't budge. When I got my first real paycheck as an architect, I felt rich. 6 months later, I was living paycheck to paycheck again. I'd upgraded everything without thinking. That extra $300 per month invested instead of spent would have shaved years off my timeline. The 2 levers that change everything. Here's the good news. You can dramatically accelerate your timeline with just 2 moves. Lever 1, increase your investment rate. $500 a month gets you there at 55. $750 per month, age 51. $1,000 per month, age 49. Every extra dollar you invest buys you months of freedom on the back end. Lever 2, reduce your target income need. Need $40,000 a year to live? You need $571,000 invested. Get that down to $30,000 a year? Now you only need $428,000. You just knocked $143,000 off your target, saving you 5 to 7 years of working. Every dollar you don't spend serves you twice. More to invest today, less needed to retire tomorrow. This is why people who reach financial independence in their 30s and 40s aren't making crazy money. They're making decent money, living well below their means, and investing the gap. What this actually means for you right now. Here's your action plan. Calculate your annual expenses, last 3 months times 4. Multiply by 14.3. That's your crossover number. Subtract your current investment balance. That's your gap. Use a compound interest calculator to see when you close it. Ask yourself, can I invest more? Can I spend less? Every adjustment buys you time. I'm not at crossover yet. My portfolio isn't beating my architecture salary, but I know people who've crossed that line, and they all say the same thing. I wish I'd understood this 10 years earlier. Because this isn't about getting rich. It's about reaching a point where work becomes a choice instead of a requirement. Where a bad boss doesn't control your life because you could walk away and be fine. Where layoffs don't terrify you because your investments already cover half your expenses. That's what the crossover point really represents. Not wealth, sovereignty. The bottom line, your investment income will beat your job income at a specific calculable point. For someone making $52,000 per year, roughly $571,000 invested. Start at 25, invest $500 per month consistently, get there around 55. Start earlier, invest more or spend less, get there faster. Procrastinate, panic sell, or inflate your lifestyle. Work until you're 70. The math doesn't care about your feelings. It just works for everyone who actually does it. Most people will spend 40 years working and never understand this. They'll retire with almost nothing and wonder what went wrong. But now you know. You have the formula. You can calculate your crossover point right now. The only question is whether you'll use this information or file it under interesting things I'll never act on. Because here's the brutal truth. Knowing when your investments will beat your job is useless if you never start investing. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. If this breakdown made the path to financial independence feel more real and achievable, smash that like button and subscribe for more honest money content that actually shows you the math. And if you're wondering where to keep your money while you're building toward this crossover point, you need to watch my recent video on why gold is quietly exploding right now and what it means for your savings. Central banks are making moves that should change how you think about where your wealth is actually safe. I'll see you in the next one.